Yo, what's going on guys, it's Scott here, and today I'm going to break down the Rockets vs Warriors series. This series is the most anticipated series of the playoffs. Ever since the Rockets proved that they were the biggest threat to the Warriors early in the season, it gave hope to people around the league that there was a chance for the Warriors to be beaten. The Rockets faced the Warriors 3 times this year, which ended in a 2-1 series in their favor. They were able to win on opening night after Chris Paul went down with a knee injury late in the game, and then in the 2 games after that, neither team was able to play with their full lineups. Harden and Durant were both out with injuries in their second meeting, and then Ariza was out in their third meeting. There weren't many takeaways from any of these matchups because of these injuries, and only now we'll get to see the full thing. The lineups we should expect to see will be exactly how they ended their Game 5s. The Rockets will play Chris Paul, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, PJ Tucker, and Clint Capella, and then the Warriors will play their Hamptons 5 lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green. I believe these lineups allow both teams to switch almost any screen and provides the best one-on-one matchups with no clear defensive liabilities. For the Warriors matching up with the Rockets, I expect Iguodala to guard Chris Paul because it would be too much for Curry on the defensive end to pick up Chris Paul each time down on defense. Curry would switch his matchup with Iguodala and defend Trevor Ariza, who's often used as a spot-up shooter and is not used nearly as much offensively as Chris Paul. Then I expect Klay Thompson to pick up James Harden because he's the Warriors' best perimeter defender and has a great amount of length and intelligence to make it difficult for Harden. Kevin Durant would guard PJ Tucker because Tucker is often used as a screener and has a lot of strength in his position, and the Warriors would want to make sure they have a strong player on him like Durant. Draymond Green would then guard Clint Capella because Capella often tries to force a switch so the big man has to guard Chris Paul or James Harden, and that allows both of them to go to work. Draymond is a good perimeter defender and would have plenty of confidence in switching onto Paul or Harden. He also has enough strength and athleticism to stick with Capella on the boards and defending lobs. Then for the Rockets to defend the Warriors, we should see Chris Paul guard Steph Curry because he's one of the best defenders in the league at the point guard position. The Rockets often switch their matchups to keep the opposing team guessing, so I expect Trevor Ariza and PJ Tucker to share defensive duties on Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. I believe Ariza is better suited to guard both of them simply because he's a lot faster than Tucker and can navigate screens to keep Klay from getting open looks. Ariza also has great length and can contest Kevin Durant's shots a lot better than Tucker. I think the matchups we'd see the most would be Ariza on Klay and then Tucker on Durant though. James Harden will be on Iguodala because Iguodala won't be used much offensively, and it would give Harden more time to rest just like Curry will be guarding Ariza. Then finally, Capella will guard Draymond because he's pretty much the Warriors' center. Both starting lineups match up pretty well with each other, but what this series may come down to is which team has enough firepower offensively to take over the game. The Warriors have 3 elite offensive weapons that are some of the best shooters in the game. The Rockets only have 2 elite offensive weapons, but what helps them the most is the style that they play. They are able to dictate the tempo of the game and have plenty of shooters around the floor to create space for Paul and Harden to work. The Warriors really only have Curry, Klay, and Durant to go to, because everyone on their bench has struggled the entire season and especially the playoffs. When the Warriors played the Pelicans didn't even try to guard Iguodala or Green on the perimeter because neither of them are expected to make shots. The same thing should happen with their bench because none of them are expected to make shots as often as their starters. For the Rockets, they also have their own versions of Iguodala and Green, but they're better shooters. Ariza and Tucker are both capable 3-point shooters. Eric Gordon is the 6th man of the year, and while he has been average in these playoffs, if he can play to his 6th man of the year status, he would be a huge help in this series. Then finally, they have Ryan Anderson and Gerald Green, who are also great shooters off the bench, which is something the Warriors don't have much of. Defensively, the Rockets have Luc Mbah a Moute, who's a guy like Ariza or Tucker that can play both ways and is an elite defender that can guard any position. Expect him to be used a lot in this series guarding the Warriors' best players. The old cliche is that role players play better at home, and the Rockets have a lot more and better role players than the Warriors. What helps the Rockets the most is that they have home court advantage over the Warriors, which is a huge benefit for their case in winning this series. If the Rockets are able to make it to a Game 7, expect the series to be in their favor, and at that point they should have enough to take over the Warriors' reign over the Western Conference. That's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more NBA content, and leave a like if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.